Hello and welcome to World Talks. My name is Sasha Farbach. Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico is renewing military aid to Ukraine for the first time since taking office, in what could mark a notable shift toward a more pro-Ukrainian stance. Now, to discuss the implications for Slovakia's foreign policy and regional ties, we're now joined by Juraj Marušiak, political scientist at the Slovak Academy of Sciences. Good to have you with us. Let's jump right into this. I mean, this is a significant shift. I mean, looking at military aid, some of it non-lethal. Nevertheless, what's behind this?
So, good morning. I don't think that there is a significant change in Slovakia's approach towards Ukraine crisis. So, we must stress that really Slovakia is not sending lethal weapons to Ukraine. So Slovakia is sending just the demining systems and some equipment for healthcare. So this is definitely not; those are not definitely lethal weapons, and it is explained as a humanitarian aid. And really, Robert Fico, even before the elections and after the elections, stressed that no lethal weapons will be sent to Ukraine. So from this point of view, that has not changed and nothing, really virtually nothing. So on the other hand, what is different, what is kind of U-turn, is the change of the rhetoric towards Ukraine. We could see it even after the meeting of Robert Fico with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky conducted in Uzhhorod after his return from Beijing. So he realized that and he really admitted that the war in the Eastern Europe will take a long time, definitely longer than it was expected. And he also recognized Ukrainian right to defense and Ukrainian the need to provide security guarantees for Ukraine. So he never before spoke about it after the elections. Then, however, he is still continuing to say that it is just the providing a military assistance to Ukraine by the European Union and NATO, what is responsible for the continuation and prolongation of the war. So Fico is still keeping the anti-Ukrainian rhetoric, and it was not Robert Fico who visited Kyiv as now, but the Minister of Defense, Deputy Chairman of his party, Robert Kaliňák, who announced this military aid. So Fico doesn't want to communicate these such pro-Ukrainian steps in public. Fico continues rather pro-Russian and anti-Ukrainian rhetoric.
All right, but on that, I want to jump in there, Juraj. I want to ask you, because let me just jump in there for a moment, because I mean, at the same time, I understand it, non-lethal aid, but nevertheless, this is some of the first time he's done this. I mean, he's been very critical of all Western aid to Ukraine. At the same time, does this not in some case maybe sort of bode well for some maybe other policy changes vis-a-vis Ukraine? I mean, if we're looking also at the arms industry from Slovakia, they've provided quite a bit. I mean, not huge numbers as we would look at maybe Poland or Germany, but still, I mean, is this not in any way in your analysis some kind of a slow shift at least, or is this really only just symbols here and nothing?
So this is the first step. This is the very first step. So we will see if it will continue or not. However, I also would like to stress that Fico never expressed himself against the providing the military supply to Ukraine, but in, for commercial prices. So this military supply to Ukraine continued, however, by the private companies. And still, Robert Fico is interested to remain, to be present in this military supply for Ukraine, because those are job opportunities, and Slovak economy is really heavily dependent on armed industry. So this is mainly the pragmatic step conducted by Robert Fico. Really, we will see what will be the next steps. However, of course, there are some signals that Fico is changing his views to Ukraine, to the pragmatic cooperation also on the cross-border level. Now the first trains from Uzhhorod to Bratislava were launched, and this is also a new signal, because they in Ukraine built the European railway from the Slovak borders to Uzhhorod, the next the city on the Slovak borders. So Fico realized that Ukraine is Slovakia's neighbor, and it is important to have at least moderate, good, if not excellent, relations with this country.
Okay, which
Don't forget that Fico is a pragmatic politician, very
right.
pragmatic.
Indeed. Also, quite different from one of his neighboring countries, Hungary, right? We have Orban saying, very much even challenging the idea that Ukraine is even a sovereign state. So, again, interesting change on Fico there. Let's see if that goes over to Hungary as well. I want to come in also on a major change. We've covered, you mentioned dependency. I want to come in on that. Let's talk about energy dependence and dependency, looking at Slovakia and Russia. That is still a very close relationship. About nuclear. Slovakia has 5 nuclear reactors, I believe one currently still under construction. Now, that is also a major announcement, something with the United States, that there would be another nuclear deal, another reactor being built. Tell us about this. Is this a slow change again? Is this pragmatism on Fico's side? How do you interpret this deal with the United States?
So I think that it's not some kind of a breaking news, because the negotiation with Westinghouse company took place for a long time. Even it started before the elections, and Fico never announced that the cancellation of these projects, of these negotiations. Fico is has very positive attitude towards nuclear energy. He also insisted that nuclear energy should remain in the energy mix of European Union, and it should not be threatened by so-called Green Deal policy. First, just on Tuesday, Robert Fico announced really this information that the government already signed and approved the agreement with the United States on the construction of the new nuclear power plant. However, later at the same forum, at the European Nuclear Energy Forum, he corrected his first statement, and he just told that this signature of this contract is only planned. So, however, it is probably on a very good way to be prepared and to be signed. However, there it was not without some problems. Immediately after his return from China, Robert Fico told about the involvement of Russian Federation into this project. However, American side refused such ideas. They insisted that Russia will not take place in this project, and also France is interested in the construction of power plant in Slovakia. But still, probably the most hot favorite are United States and Westinghouse Company. They even declared that they are ready to start the construction of power plant immediately.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I mean, still, looking at that as a signal, it does mean, I mean, that wasn't happening before. You said this is something that was carried on. I know that Russia is still, let's say, the quote-unquote favored in terms of Fico's eyes. But nevertheless, I mean, this is significant. What kind of, just coming towards the end there, what does this signal as well to Brussels, to Western allies, even if it is France building that? I mean, if it's going to be the Americans, I mean, this is a very different strategic alignment than had been happening before. So is this, do you see this having other, let's say, inroads into how Slovakia is perceived and what it's doing with Brussels?
So I think Robert Fico is interested to not to be in not to come into full-scale conflict with European Union. He believes that in exchange of such big steps like big investments and participation in military supply of Ukraine, European Union will tolerate his steps in domestic policy. Like, for example, it was a few days ago the amendments of Constitution where Fico declared that Slovak legislation is
On that note, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We'll have to close it there.
European one.
I have to interrupt you there. We'll have to come back to another time. But look, thanks so much for your insights today. That was our guest here, Juraj Marušiak. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching, but stay tuned. There's much more coming up right here on TVP World, so stay tuned.